that in front of you.
I am.
Check. Do you remember going to concerts and like before the main?
Hey.
Yeah. Do you remember going to concerts and before the main person come out, they'd get all black and they had to do the mic checks.
No, I don't remember that.
And the guys would come out, the roadies would come out. They go check one, yeah.
No,
Remember that?
no.
You're like, oh my God, they're almost on stage.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, let me take off my panties. Wait, hold on. Just kidding. No, I never did that.
Oh man, that was like the best feeling. But you knew they weren't coming out.
What, taking off your panties?
Yes, taking off my panties. But like, so you'd be waiting, right? You'd just be sitting there, and everybody already played, but you're there for Metallica because I mean, Chris Cornell was probably my favorite concert to ever go to, but Metallica's about to come up, and the last band just played, and you're like, fuck, I've been waiting for this all day. You're tired. Your legs are hurting. You're already full. You drank a bunch of beer.
You're already in the mosh pit.
Already went in the mosh pit. The person next to you passed their weed to you. You're already a little bit high. And it's 8 o'clock at night. You've been waiting for this concert for about, I don't know.
3 hours?
No. I'm talking
Longer?
about months. You bought this.
Oh.
You bought these tickets in January. Say your parents got, well, I was a teenager at the time when I seen Metallica, but say your parents got it for your birthday in January or Christmas, and you're waiting all the way to June, and then finally, James Hetfield comes out. No, Lars comes out first, the drummer. And you're like, yeah! And then James Hetfield comes out, hey guys, yeah! Hey! And you're just like, oh my God, it's Metallica! I could reach right, I was right in front of him right there. And it's just, that's it. That's that moment, right? I probably wouldn't get like that anymore. But like, those moments when I seen Iron Maiden came out, and the big giant Eddie.
I'm trying not to laugh. My face is like getting worse. Oh God.
But you don't understand. Like, it's just all he had to do is like, it's I don't know. All he had to do was just come out and just like, what's up, guys? Yeah. And then you're just like, yeah, whoa, and just go crazy. Like, that's all he had to do. And then Iron Maiden. I seen Iron Maiden, and Iron Maiden, they have Eddie. He's the skeleton guy in like the covers, the shirts, and it's just this big giant skeleton dude. And I'll never forget because he comes out for like, I guess, every concert, and we're just waiting. So I was 16 years old.
Who would you go to the concert with?
Hold on, I'll get to that.
Okay.
I was 16 years old, and my mom died about a year before, and there was a moment where you don't understand, like, everybody feels bad for you, right?
Okay.
Your parents, your dad, your family, you're basically, even though it didn't help, but like you're getting everything you want because everybody, your dad just got life insurance. People around you are just helping you for no reason. Everybody wants to take you to church. Like every mom wants to take you to church. You know how many churches I've been to? Oh, I loved going to them because there's dinner always.
I was
after.
say because there was food after. Sorry.
But so back to the concert.
Okay, go back to the concert.
I asked my dad. I was like, "Hey, I want to go see Iron Maiden," and during that time, my dad was just doing his own thing and just got me anything I wanted.
That when you got Shelby too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't just get one ticket. I think my dad bought 6 tickets.
6 tickets?
Yeah, to go see Iron Maiden.
Were they like front row or were they like?
It was in the concert pavilion.
Okay.
A Concord Pavilion. And so we were in the grass. They had
So it's like going to the amphitheater.
Yes, Shoreline Amphitheater.
Okay.
But it was like $35 probably. And
did you even have 6 friends to go with?
So I'm trying to think if Drew was there. I don't think Drew was there.
Okay, so who went?
So it was Chris Santiago, this rocker dude.
Okay.
I'm just gonna name all the names.
All right.
All my friends. So Eric Patino, all my wonderful, and then my buddy. So, Leo. Leo went to my fight in.
Did he go with Drew?
Yes.
Okay.
He went with Drew to go see me fight in Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
And his brother, Leo wasn't there, but his brother went. And his brother was old enough to drive, had the van. We went in this van.
Had a van.
We were young. None of us were 21, but for some reason we had a shitload of weed.
Oh
We
my
had
gosh.
a bunch of beers. The driver was smoking and driving with his feet to Concord, from San Jose to Concord. We were all getting hammered in the back. We get there. We're fucked up.
What's hammered? Like you guys all shared one beer?
No,
Like you
we
guys
were
sipping,
fucking
sipping and passing?
No, we were hammered.
Okay, what's hammered? Because I've seen you drink before, and I used to outdrink you.
Yeah, okay. Hammered for a 16-year-old.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
each shared one beer. That's hammered.
No, we had packs of beer.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you guys have? What is that wine cooler? Xenon? Xena? Did
No.
you guys have a Mad Dog 2020? MD 2020? Is that what you guys had?
Probably. No, just kidding. I used to drink that, by the way. So we had a bunch of beer.
Okay, well go on. We had
all hammered. We
all had
get
beer.
there. I was high. Everybody was high.
Okay.
And then we get there, and Chris, one of my buddies, was like, I have a knife on me. And we're like, oh, fuck. We were already walking to the entrance. He ended up hiding it. And
Was security
that
not
was my
tight
first-
back then?
I don't know, but like, so I was still sheltered at that time. So seeing him with the knife, I was high.
Okay, so
I was
getting
freaking
high
out.
and drinking didn't scare you, but someone having a knife scared you.
I don't know why. I just remember being scared. I was like, oh my God, what if we get caught? We're drunk, we're high. Oh my God. And so 16 years old, Iron Maiden, run to the hills, run for your lives.
Please don't quit your day job.
So Iron Maiden, like, this is the shit. Like, they're 16. We're about to see Iron Maiden, this badass rock band. But they're not from our era. You know what I mean? Like, they're not from early 2000s, 2000.
They already had, what, like 30 years on you?
Yeah. So we get there. We're all fucked up. We're all ready to party like it's fucking Detroit Rock City, the movie. And we get there to the grass. And we're like, yeah, we're looking around. Everybody's like 40 and over. They have their kids there. Everybody's just chilling. And here comes six
idiots.
teenage boys just ready to party. And
What kind of concert did you guys think you guys are going to?
we thought it was like a metal concert. Like Metallica, when you go see Metallica, I was in the pit. That was fucking crazy. Hey. But that was crazy.
Hey.
But like you don't understand, like, but we're just looking around and nobody was like moshing, nobody was doing nothing. Like Run to the Hills came on, nothing, and then 666 Number of the Beast, that song came on, and nobody was like like that going, because that was when Eddie came out. So in the middle of the show, they have a song that's very controversial because of 666 Number of the Beast, obviously, but.
Who the fuck did I marry? And you over here talking about like church and this and that and Jesus, and you over here looking like Jesus, and you're like 666 name of the beast, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, it's just like,
what kind of fucking person are you? You're fucking
it's
hypocrite.
a song.
Hey, you guys, we don't need views, we don't need likes. Don't be on your phone. Go subscribe though.
But it's
Really? What the fuck? You've been like this your whole life?
so you got to understand, like, there's no YouTube, there's nothing back then. So how do you get attention? You have controversial songs. Come on, NWA.
What else? Go on.
Hots for the Teacher.
Do you say hots for the teacher?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like all those rock bands, hair metal bands, speed metal bands, all those bands that came out with controversial songs, it was to get publicity.
Okay.
You don't think so say you already have a name and say you want publicity for your next album. I'm going to come out with the song 666 Number of the Beast, and it's going to get all the Karens riled up. Right?
The Karens were probably the ones that were out there.
But I don't know. It's the way it was, like the shock value, like how Logan Paul and Jake Paul, what they do. Iron Maiden did it, but without YouTube, right? So Eddie comes out, this big old skeleton puppet guy, and we're all hammered. We're like, yeah. And we're falling all over the place, and everybody's just laughing at us. But it was still a good ass time. I'll never forget that. That was one of the best concerts I went to. So, but yeah, that's my.
Wow.
You never had a concert story? You can't say a date. I already know you went to go see a bunch of bands with guys. Okay, I understand that. But I'm talking about you never went with your homies, your homegirls. No.
The only concert story I could give that's kind of like ooh or
Don't even say. I already know. You went to go see Green Day with some dude that bought you tickets.
Actually,
Wow. Look at me. I can spend money on tickets. What the fuck? I got you a ring.
Let's not talk, okay? Let's not talk.
I got you a ring. I went to go take you to see Linkin Park.
Yeah,
I got you in the back of a bar called Agave. Like you're a VIP. Got you free chips and beer.
Yeah, I felt like Goodfellas walking through the back. Actually, I bought the Green Day tickets, so.
Okay, what do you do? Drive? Wow, I could drive.
Actually, I probably drove too. What can I do? Drive?
Yeah, I gotta say, like I understand she was with other men before me, but come on, what I've done, what you've experienced with me. I know there was a dude that he was like, I'm a boxer, I'm a fighter, all this stuff. He was like, I go train and hit mitts at AKA on the afternoon.
Didn't you go to AKA too?
Hey, but I got in the fucking ring.
Okay, all right.
That's different.
Go on.
And like he posted pictures where he had gloves on. He was like this. No, he had his hands up like this. Oh, dude.
Dude.
I don't.
Can you keep your drink away from the laptop, please? Keep your drink away from the laptop.
Sorry.
Thank you.
But everybody knows those people that lie, right? To get attention.
Yeah.
But I'm not even talking about social media.
You're not talking about you.
Oh no.
Okay.
I don't know. See, I don't lie. I just forget, or I don't know. But
no, you just flake.
Whatever. No, but it's such a weird thing, right? When people have to lie about something to make themselves look better. Not even on social media, like
in
outside.
General?
Yeah, in general. Like in person, it's different. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Why are you lying?
Yeah, it's bad. Well, it's bad.
Right? Yeah, have you ever met somebody that just couldn't stop lying?
Yeah, a lot of people I know. Not just one, like a lot.
And it's not even a big thing. It starts off with like small things.
It could be like the smallest thing, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're just saying like, "Oh, I was gonna be on Joe Rogan." I've had someone tell me that.
Really?
Yes.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan, or Joe Rogan, Diego Joe Rogan?
No. No, not Diego Joe Rogan. Speaking of Diego
Joe Rogan.
Go follow Adaptive Sessions, guys. Our sponsor for today. I'll plug him again at the end of the day.
He's gonna be in our link tree. Did I say that right?
Yes, he'll be in our link tree.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, comment below if you know anybody that lies or like comment. What do I do with somebody that lies to my face and I know? What do you do? Right? That is the hardest thing. So
the thing is, like, when I quit, a lot of my family didn't know. A lot of your family didn't know. Like, only certain people knew.
Yeah.
And when I tell people why I quit, like, I quit to start doing hair, to do my trailer. And I think people think, like, oh, well, she didn't tell us what she was doing. Yeah, because if I don't do it, I don't want to be called liar. Or
be called liar? You mean you don't want to be
called a liar?
Yes, there you go. Correct grammar. Let's
go. First of all, that's the what the fuck I said.
Okay, that's the what the fuck I said? Okay, what happened?
Just want to say I hate you.
Okay.
I'm not finishing my story.
How are you not gonna finish this? Don't get mad just because say it for the listeners. They're listening. They want to hear your story.
I forgot what I was saying because you interrupted me very rudely.
You were saying that you didn't want to be called a liar. Mm-hmm. So what happened after that?
That's why I don't say what I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not really lying. I'm talking about
No, it's not lying. I'm saying I don't want people to say, "Oh, she lies. Oh, she said she was going to do this and not do it."
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's not that.
I know I'm not lying.
Yeah, that's just like you went after it. That's okay, but I'm talking about someone was right in front of me, was a guest on the show, and said,
Wow, you're getting really brave over here.
I'm
You're
not
getting
going to say the
fucking
name.
super brave.
I'm not going to say the name, but there were guests on the show. It wasn't adaptive session. So sorry guys. Don't think it was adaptive session.
It was Diego,
wasn't.
y'all.
No, it wasn't. All right? But I had somebody sit right in front of me and tell me, "Man, you're lucky cuz I was supposed to be on Joe Rogan." And I looked at I was like, it was right before the interview. I was like, "Holy fuck." I was like, I got through the interview, but I just knew. Well, like, what was I supposed to do? You know?
Maybe call them out on it.
That's fucking crazy.
Hold on, let me fix my grammar before the fucking grammar police over here just gives me a ticket or something.
Oh, sorry. But what are you supposed to do when someone just lies right to your face? Like, there has to be a screw loose, right? There has to be something that's wrong with them, right?
I guess maybe they just fabricate. How do you say it?
Fabricate.
Yeah,
Fabricate.
that. Fabric.
Yeah.
Maybe they do that. Maybe they want people to like them or to talk to them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's so crazy.
Don't you ever just want to call people out on it though? Like,
yeah,
dude, why are you lying?
I had a friend that I grew up with that was like that.
Really?
It's the worst. I had somebody when my mom passed away. I had somebody tell me, "Yeah, you remember? I remember your mom so much. She used to take care of me all the time. Like, he was my age, and just I don't know if he said that to he still says it to
feel
this
sympathy
day.
or something?
I don't know. I was like, my mom never took care of me, bro. Like,
How do you know?
Because I would know that.
But how would you know? Like, are they the same age as you though?
Like, it was a crazy lie like that. Like,
yeah,
they're the same age as me.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, oh, that's fucking weird. Like,
you know what I hate is when you visit family that you haven't seen in since you were young or years and be like, oh, I remember you. Do you remember me? No. Like, how am I supposed to remember you? It's been 15 fucking years?
Yeah, you're like a baby.
I was 1.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Anyways.
I think as I get older, it's just reading people, it's just different, right? And I'm pretty quiet. I'm not this vocal when I'm in person, right? I'm pretty quiet. I really am. Like, I'm at the gym or.
No, you're not quiet.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
You know me. I'm not quiet because I'm around you, right?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about when I'm at the gym, I'm coaching or whatever I'm doing.
Well, you got to be professional. You're a coach.
Yeah, and I don't know, like. I need to start speaking up. I need to call bullshit when I smell it. Right?
Yeah. If anybody knows what shit smells like, it should be you. I mean, with your whole shit story the other day.
Oh, fuck.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, if you just comment below, what are you supposed to do when you come across a person that's clearly lying? Clearly. In the fight world, a lot of people do it, just like in the the military world, right? They do it, and that's something that my buddy, if you listen to Tony, he has 2 episodes with us.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Hernandez, Tony Tiny Hernandez. Go check out those episodes. But with him, he will never bring up that he was in the military or his stories. It was hard for him to do the episodes.
Yeah.
And
I think I might know more of it than you know of it.
Yeah, because you're around it.
Yeah.
But when, like you said, when you have to tell that you're something, like when you have to say, I'm a fighter or I'm a military person or I do this.
Why do you keep thrusting your body like that every
Sorry.
Hold on. Are you drunk or high right now?
No.
What is your problem? You were high on life or something.
I am.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
When you have to bring it up or brag about it or something, then you probably really didn't do it.
Yeah.
There's no need to. I'm just saying. I grew up around a life that you don't talk about things.
Whoa.
Just saying.
What are you talking about? Where you grew up at?
Don't worry about it. That's why you don't talk about it.
What you bang, homie? Oy.
I'm gonna tell my dad.
Don't. I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I didn't say that. I'm scared. Okay. No, but yeah, it's just such a crazy thing when people have to tell you what they do.
Yeah.
Like I get along with people that are just regular people, and then
Are they truthers?
somebody that's at the top of their profession, I'll
Mhm.
treat the same as somebody that's at the bottom of the profession. But if you're bragging and you're saying shit, it's just I don't know. It's just a weird thing, right? It's just a weird thing.
Okay, you remember, this is off the subject,
Yeah.
but remember how we were talking about service dogs and like people not having service dogs that just have service vests on?
Mm-hmm.
Me and your sister had seen somewhere, I don't remember what state it was. This couple had this, I think it was a pit bull, and they put a service vest on it. Well, this family went into the restaurant, and the little girl went in first, and as the family gets in there, the dog had her by the face.
Yeah.
The dog
That's
had the little girl in the face,
fucking
and the
crazy.
people that had the dog just took off.
Are you serious?
And
Where'd
the dog
go?
wasn't even a service dog.
Where'd the dog go?
They took the dog.
What happened to the girl?
She had to go get stitches.
Fuck dogs.
No,
Fuck
fuck
bad
people. No,
Yeah.
it's not dogs. It's people. What the fuck?
I don't care. If a dog fucking goes after you or Eva,
I got bit by a dog. Where were you at then?
you were hold on. Okay. There has to be a pretty big dog. If it's a little shit like little chihuahua,
That's
come
what
on.
bit me.
If it's a little chihuahua, come on, you got a kick, right?
What
you gotta
the
you gotta
hell?
kick it, right?
It's
But
all dragging me back.
like what happens? What happens? I'm going after it. I
If the
trip and
dog goes
fall,
after
like,
you, I'm running the opposite way.
if it's a pit bull, I'm gonna go after it, right? But if it's a little chihuahua, I'm just like, come on. I was gonna say girl. Come on, wife. Gotta use your leg. I taught you how to kick somewhat, right? Soccer kick that motherfucker.
Oh my god.
But
yeah, so it was. Let's just say when we worked at the San Jose station, nothing bad happened to us there.
FedEx San Jose station.
FedEx San Jose station. Nothing bad happened to us there. We
Yeah.
transferred to the Modesto station. There was fucking dogs everywhere. It's like a gang of dogs. I'm not even kidding. There's
Yeah.
dogs everywhere.
You worked in the bad part of Modesto,
I worked in the
too.
really bad part.
Yeah.
Modesto.
For some reason, Washington Street is always like not the best place.
Like President Streets.
Oh yeah, like JFK Street. It's like, oh shit, do not go down JFK. Right? I don't know.
And what was it? It was like 3 or 4 months into transferring?
Yeah.
And I got fucking bit on the ankle because the lady opened the door and the dog ran out and bit me.
She
Oh my gosh.
It's like, oh, babe, I got bit by a dog. I'm like, oh my god, you're all right? I thought it was like a
It broke
pit bull.
skin.
She's like, no, it was a little chihuahua. I was like, what the fuck? Kick it.
And you know the crazy thing is, it wasn't even like, okay, come into. It was like the end of the day. I had like still deliveries and pickups to do, and they weren't even like, okay, come in, we'll have someone do it for you. Are you good to work? I'm like, I guess, but I did get bit by a fucking dog.
Yeah.
I did have to get a tetanus shot though. I'm good for 10 years.
Well, tomorrow, guys, if you want more of this, we're going to be dropping a marriage episode where it's just us. But today, we do have a guest.
Your cousin?
My cousin, Lindsey Diaz, a youth counselor.
She got her
master's in education.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, just her mission is to help these kids in high impact places. I guess it's a better way of saying,
or even help kids right now during
Yes.
this difficult time.
during this difficult time. Mental health parts of the pandemic, right? But she's one of the teachers and one of the educational people putting extra effort into helping kids, helping the youth during this this time. Because there's times when my daughter's like, yeah, we didn't. When I'm asking her, what'd your teacher do? Oh, nothing. He just gave us a assignment and that was it.
Well, the other day we got back from our walk and she went to class. I was like, all right, see you in a little bit.
Yeah.
Like not even 5 minutes, literally like 1 or 2 minutes. She comes down. She's like, all right, I'm done with first period.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
there needs to be engagement. There needs to be
No, we don't know what there needs to be. There just needs
Right.
to be something different.
yes.
Because she's.
Okay, all right.
I'm just
sorry.
saying,
Yeah.
you don't know what they need.
Yeah. So it's just my cousin. We kind of go into that, and we go into parenting skills. It's a difficult thing when it comes to mental health for kids. Growing up, it was like it wasn't really talked about when somebody was dealing with depression or a kid was dealing with bullying.
It was that they were bad.
and they were just like, get over it.
Yeah,
you know?
they
That
were
was
bad.
like 50% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we're finding out that's not how you can deal with it. Like, it's it's rough. We dealt with it a little bit. But it's kind of like your whole world stops, right?
Yeah.
Like when your kid is dealing with anything,
Something.
with anything with mental health or just sad, when they're sad for no reason, like that is the most difficult thing to do as a parent. It's like because you think you're doing right the whole entire time,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden they tell you it's like, no, I'm not all right. I'm sad. Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
that is so difficult to deal with, and I wish it would be more put out there. It's funny because we did Chris Lieben, very manly subject, fighting, famous guy, all this stuff, and then all of a sudden I have my cousin on, and it's a totally different turn from what we're doing with the podcast. But I think this I mean what she is a educated person who got her master's and grew up in Eastside San Jose. So very inspirational. And the fact that she's going back and giving these kids this opportunity and trying to make a difference with her education, like I love that about her. And yeah, Lindsay, if you're friends with Lindsay and you're listening for
Or
because
family.
or family and you're listening to it, like you got like what Lindsay's doing is not easy. I've talked to other people that deal with kids and mental health and in the educational system that are counselors or anything. It's dude, dealing with kids is difficult, man. When they're at the hardest times, like I'm lucky I had Miss De La Rosa. She saved me at Silver Creek, and it's rough, but keep on doing your thing. If you're helping kids and you're in the educational system, like keep on doing your thing. Keep on putting that extra effort. I know no one really gives you a pat on the shoulder, a pat on the back, and it's hard. It's rough. You see these kids in down moments, but like I appreciate you. So, but yeah, today is Lindsey Diaz, youth counselor, in Eastside San Jose. So check him out. Check it out. I hope you enjoy the episode. Today, our sponsor is Adaptive Sessions. Probably the coolest guy on the internet. Probably the best 0-2 amateur.
I just shook my head when you said the coolest guy. I'm like,
The best 0-2 amateur to ever hit the streets of the Bay Area.
so
And
stupid.
I say that respectfully. And I hope he knows I'm joking. But the dude just loves martial arts and loves learning. When you go to his page, he's always doing something different. And when you're able to learn multiple stuff, it tells me a lot about you. And he created something called Adaptive Sessions. He implemented kettlebell workouts, which he basically got his certification in all kettlebell workouts and certified to do that. And also he does pad work. So you get both worlds, right? A good workout. And it's hard to find a good pad holder. Sometimes you don't know if you have a good pad holder. When I tell you he is a good pad holder, believe me, there are people out there that are going to charge you $150 an hour, $100 for 2 days a week.
Okay, you gotta learn. You gotta learn to cut it.
No, I know, but I'm trying to. I hope I make this because I go back and forth with people on. Dude, that guy's not a good pad holder, but they're paying him like $150 for 3 days a week. do your research, ask people around, find a fighter, find an amateur fighter, ask them if they're a good pad holder. When I tell you that Adaptive Sessions is a good pad holder, that's my name. If I'm wrong, tell everybody that I'm wrong. But that's my name on it, and I'm telling you that Adaptive Sessions, go check him out. He's a good pad holder, guys. And subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to YouTube, hit the notifications on. Go ahead and drop us a review on Apple Podcast. We love you guys. Thanks for always supporting. Thanks for engaging with us. Thanks for talking to us, reaching out to us. We're always here. Message us, email thehassleofhair@gmail.com. Message us on the Hassle of Hair on Instagram, on Facebook. Just reach out to us, guys. There's different platforms. If you have any questions, anything to reach out, or you have a guest to come on, let us know. We love you. Thanks for the support. Now here's the guest, Lindsey Diaz.
Growing up, how did you know that you wanted to get, like, what inspired you to be in the world of education and child development and counseling?
Okay, this is kind of funny. So they asked me this in class too before, and I always tell them, like, I actually never saw myself in education because I hated kids. If you know my nephew Andrew, and he was off the walls, and I had to watch him like when I was a teenager, and I was like, I never want kids. And I always told my parents, like, I don't want kids. I don't want kids. I don't want kids. Then I got knocked up at 19, and I was like, oh shit, what the hell am I going to do? So I took a few classes in child development for undergrad, and I was like, I was going to have a kid. I didn't know what I was doing. I kind of knew, like, there was patterns that I saw in like our families that I knew. I was like, okay, that's not the healthiest thing. And I'm trying to get out of school fast. So I switched over to child development so I can help my, daughter and, learn about development for kids and stuff in general. And I don't know, fell in love with it. I've been working with kids for like 9 years.
Is there anybody that inspired you, or was there any moment in your life that inspired you?
Yeah. So when I was done getting my bachelor's, I was working in like after school programs for a bit. And there was one kid so I was the person that they sent all the bad kids to, because I had
tattoos.
I have the patience. I know, right? Because I have the patience for them. Because sometimes, when a kid cries, it's like, damn, dude, like, really? So they would send like these kids to me. But there was one kid that would just like spaz out everywhere. Like they didn't really I don't want to say like to, watch him or anything, but he was very difficult to manage. So a lot of the staff members would get frustrated, but I knew that he had a background story. Kindergartner, recently lost his dad to cancer and was acting out very aggressively, running away, all this stuff. And everybody was just fed up. And I was like, cut this kid some slack. So like, after a while, it took me like 3 months, but after a while, like, I kind of became like his little safety net. Yeah. So he was always like with me. So when he started like acting up, or like, they're like, oh, he's getting in one of his moods, like he would come with me and we'd calm down. And I don't know, I just was always that person for those types of kids.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that, because everything I went through with my mom, and at 15, I couldn't have really got out of high school or even my childhood sane if it wasn't for my counselor at Healthy Start. Her name was Miss Della Rosa. Do you remember her?
Okay.
She was a counselor at Healthy Start, and I literally did what the kid did with you. I was there every day basically, and I would go to her for support. And how important is that support? How important is support for kids when a tragedy happens in their life? I know that is there a difference between if they get support and they don't get support?
Yeah, so definitely. So this kid that I was working with, he did end up getting support. He needed something a little bit more intense, but because of that intense intervention, from what I've heard, he's doing a lot better. So he has been he has progressed. And, when there's traumatic things happening in kids' lives, they don't know how to cope. They don't know what's healthy, what's unhealthy. So for kids, it's like you want to steer them and kind of validate those feelings and, show them what is healthy. Like, it's okay to cry, it's okay to have these feelings, but at the end of the day, it's kind of, yeah, you kind of just got to guide them.
Yeah. And when so you're a parent and you actually deal with kids at your job, when is it necessary to discipline or just listen? What's more important, discipline or listening?
Okay, so that's a really good question. So, I work really closely with the principal at my school, and we have clear roles. I always tell the kids when I see them, like, hey, when you come talk to me, you are not in trouble. You can tell me whatever it is you want. I'm here to just listen, and I'm not going to judge you with whatever it is you say. You can say it any way you want. Just express yourself how you do. And, the kids will be like, can I cuss? And I'm like, hey, my office is a safe place. Do what you need. I go, be as authentic as you can. So that way I know how you feel. So I know how to help you. Yeah. So, just listening to the kids, letting them be authentic versus like, if you don't have those interventions, they're going to act out and try to get that attention somehow. And any attention for certain kids is good attention if they don't get any at all. Or if those, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. With my daughter, I am as authentic, and I don't growing up, I was very sheltered. My parents were no cussing, can't go here, you can't do until even at 15 I was saying gosh darn it. I wasn't saying
yeah, you were.
I wasn't. It was very sheltered. So with my daughter, I really give her a clear view on how the world really is, right? I don't sugarcoat anything, and I tell her to be open with me. And I feel like we've had our bumps in the road with her, but she's sane, right? And
yeah,
a lot of parents, they don't. I feel like the kids are the worst when the parents discipline them too much. They hold them back, that you can't go out, you can't have friends, you can't have a boyfriend, you can't have a girlfriend, there's no cussing. Like when there's so many rules, kids just reject that, right?
That's true. It's a parenting style. It's called authoritative parenting, where the parents are super strict. They don't let the kids do anything. They keep them on a short leash, and like those kids end up, exactly, rebelling or they'll act out. So it's kind of just like that mixture of like, being strict, but being kind of lenient, meeting them in the halfway point. So that halfway point is actually called authoritative. So authoritarian parenting is the very strict. Authoritative is the in between, not too strict, but not too lenient.
Yeah, I think that's where I might be a little bit too lenient. Maybe my wife is very, very authoritative.
Yeah, well, in that's a family dynamic. So like one can be, the cop, and one's the, the one that you go to when mom or dad says no, you go to the other parent. But, parent, it doesn't matter where you're at. It's going to fluctuate. There's going to be situations where you have to be, more stern or more you do have to discipline. Whereas there's some times where you have to understand like, oh, this is a life lesson. Let's talk about it, kind of thing. Yeah. But I always talk. Oh, go on.
Sorry. As you're a single parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it a little bit. But how, as a single parent, because my wife, it's my stepdaughter, right? I met her when she was 6 years old, and my wife was a single parent for a while. How do you become that good cop and then bad cop when it's just one person?
Yeah, exactly. And, when it comes to like that kind of stuff, it's all like the family dynamic. Every family is unique. Every situation is unique. But, a lot of the single moms, you have to balance that mom and dad role depending on the time schedule. For example, like for me, I have my daughter like 80% of the time. So when she's with me, I have to balance that mom and dad role because I'm with her more times. Whereas when she goes with her dad, he doesn't have her that much. So he just gets to focus on having fun. So I understand that dynamic. So I have to go back and understand too, that I have to be fun as well, but I'm raising this kid to, help her grow into the right direction. Hopefully she goes on the right path. If she don't know by now, then she's never gonna know.
And do you bring your field of education to your parenting?
Oh yeah,
Do you
definitely.
treat her differently from the kids at your job?
No, definitely not. I always tell my kids, I always tell my parents when I work with parents, because when I work with one kid, I'm not just working with the kid, I'm working with the family, I'm working with the principals. If they have outside like therapists or seeing other counselors, I'm working with them. Like, it is a fucking village for working with each kid. It really is. It really is. So, oh, snap. Sorry. Lost my train of thought. What was the question? The parenting, right?
Yeah. So do you treat your daughter differently from the other kids? But you were saying a village, and it there is that saying where it takes a village to raise a one kid or something like that.
It takes a village to raise a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really is true, because there's so many like different aspects in a kid's life that they interact with, there's the school, sometimes, religion's really big. So they got church. So there's all these different things going on within like the kid's social structure.
And going to school for education and focusing on kids, is there one right way to raise a kid? Is there, is there one right way?
Well, there's not one right way to raise a kid. There's definitely wrong ways. Like me, CPS, the cops, we can definitely tell you the wrong ways, but there's like there's no parenting book on it. But, there's not, but at the end of the day, they're little humans trying to make sense of the world. And they're still learning their feelings. They're still learning how to manage, their bodies and everything. Their hormones are going, like, setting off through their heads. We have to be a little bit more understanding of that.
Yeah, a little bit more open, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So I guess I would bring up one parent question because of that. I had a parent ask me, how does a kid that's younger, right, in elementary, we'll say like third grade, right?
Okay,
very,
third grade.
very, very introverted. How do they make friends during the pandemic? I have the mom telling me that there's only so many times where I could tell him, oh, I'm your friend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your friend, right? And so it's kind of like, it's almost been a year now. And how during the pandemic have you guys talked about how to make friends for kids?
Yeah, and that's like a really, really good question, because it comes up a lot for a lot of our families, because now they're, in the Mexican community or in Latin communities, they don't really understand mental health as an issue. But I will say, from working with families in the past and then now working with the families during the pandemic, I've noticed that parents are starting to realize, like, oh, my kid's depressed, or my kid's really sad. So they're reaching out now, and it's like, okay, good. Like, the community is starting to understand like the impact of all this, and like why mental health is so important.
Yeah. And I'll open up a little bit. I mean, I don't know if my wife's going to get mad at me saying this, but we got COVID, so we had a quarantine for about 3 weeks, or 2 weeks. Like, really, we were in the house for almost a month.
Yeah.
And I started to notice my daughter just staying in her room, and it comes on fast, because you think you're doing everything right as a parent, and then all of a sudden you look at your kid and they're just not okay. So I went in there. I don't know if this is the right way. I went in her room and I just opened the door. I told her to get up. I left the door open. I was like, you got 5 minutes to come downstairs.
Dude, that's what I do. You did it right.
So it's just, I told her, I'm not getting mad at you. We're all hurting because of this. And it's, but at the same time, it's like, I feel for her. Like, she's 14, right?
Yeah.
And
that is the big age for socialization, man.
Yes. And so have you dealt with any teenagers? Have you came up with any ideas to get them social? Like,
yeah. So it is really hard to stay connected, during a pandemic. And, for adults, when we get tired, like, and we're sick of it, we get to hop in our car and like take a drive or go to the park, and, we can do our own things. But for kids, sometimes they're trapped, they don't have certain means to leave the house. You know, I've noticed the same thing with like my daughter. I'm just like, girl, like you've been in bed all day. Like, no, we're going to go out. We're going to go walk around the park. So, you know, what they say is like a routine, setting up a routine. Like, you know, like, let's be real. We're on our phones, you know, scrolling and stuff. And sometimes you just need that mindless thing, but, you know, setting a boundary with it. So like, hey, you know, you're on your phone this much, you have this time period to be on it, but at this time period, you're going to do XYZ. Or if you have, you know, the capacity, like some parents get to work from home, set up a routine with the kid where like, okay, from 1 to 2, I have my lunch, we're going to go for a walk. So that way you kind of break up the day. So, you know, when you get into a routine, it's better for the kids because then it keeps them organized and on track. One thing though that I did do for my kids is the parents were talking a lot about like, you know, trying to connect them. So I do these like Friday movies at my school, or, you know, on Fridays for my class, and we get together and I make a Zoom link and we watch like anime because anime is hella big at my school. So we'll get together and it's kind of like a Netflix party, but I let the kid, like I said, I'm like, this is my space. So it'd be kind of like, you know, if we were in my office. So I let the kids, you know, just be themselves and just kind of like, you know, it's like a Netflix party. They're like, whoa, he has a big ass head. And, you know, like shit like that. And I'm just like, it's cool. I'll let it slide. But like, I always tell them like, but y'all, you know you need to be respectful to one another. So when you guys start acting up and calling each other out, I'm going to stop the chat. But they're pretty respectful if you keep it real with them.
Now, do you think that, that creating ways to connect with kids, I mean, my daughter was on vacation for 2 weeks now. She's going to go back Monday, but they're in the room or they're in the tables or they're in the specific one area every day for, let's say, 6 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think that that connection falls on the teachers? Because I know that some of my daughter's classes, there's just no connection. It's like, okay, we're on and you're going to listen. And
oh yeah. And if like, on some real talk, like I feel 100% for like the kids. It's kind of fucked up that, you know, this is the educational system we have. Like it fell apart and it's clearly falling apart. And, you know, all the pandemic shows is that, you know, there was no money in art in, you know, Black and brown communities from the get-go. And it's like, now it's really showing. Some of the teachers are old school. So, you know, getting them connected to technology, you know, it's a little bit different. So like, you know, we have some teachers who are like fucking all-stars on it, like making, you know, all these interactive, like, you know, games and movies and stuff and really getting the kids engaged. And then we have teachers who are just like, so turn to page 12.
Yeah.
Emilio, please read this line. Like, it's so boring. And it's like, damn, dude, like some real talk, like online classes are boring. So like, how are you going to expect a third grader to be online for 6 hours straight? They're not learning. They're not learning. And the real thing right now that we need to pull together is making that connection. Like my school, we kind of do things a little differently. So like our teachers are on it now and they realize like the kids are depressed. So we're shifting our focus from the academics to more social emotional. So we're trying to get the teachers to make like clubs and stuff. So like on Fridays, the kids can pop into like a Zoom class if they want to learn origami, or if they want to watch a movie, or if they want to learn how to cook. Like we're trying to engage kids in that way. So that way we can have them, you know, do these fun things together, but, you know, try to see each other virtually, but it is really hard.
But I think you talking about the origami, it makes me think like for my psyche, I need something to learn, like hands on. I need to be diving into it, right? If I'm not,
you're a kinetic learner.
I'm a kinetic learner.
That's a term. No, it is. It's your learning style.
Yeah, and if I'm not doing that, then my mental health it's bad, right? So I think teachers need to realize that some of these kids, their brains are not working. They're just off for almost a year now, and it's give them something to do, and it is hard because of funding, right?
It is,
We can't send a bunch of craft stuff to all the kids' house, right? Kids.
Exactly.
But but sorry for cutting you off. But I have friends that are teachers. It's a couple, and they made the effort to start a book club, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they told everybody to they raised money to get books for the year. And I mean, we all pitched in, and
Yeah.
it just takes that little effort just to write something on social media. Hey, I need money to help these kids, and it's easy as that. It's not that hard.
Yeah, it really is. And they actually have like that for teachers. It's called dang, what is it called? It's like a GoFundMe for teachers, and like they fund like classroom activities or supplies and stuff. I did it one time, and I got a room because I was doing yoga for kids after school so they can calm their bodies, because I work in East San Jose, high trauma, high impact area.
Yeah.
So these kids are like always amped up, and it's like, y'all need to like chill and slow your roll. So let's do some yoga together. And they're like, Miss Lindsay, this shit's cool. And I'm like, yeah, it is, but yeah, but definitely.
And speaking about the yoga and doing active stuff, Lindsay, I've followed you on Instagram, and well, I mean, I haven't really talked to you, but I've seen your Instagram like constantly. You're hiking, right? And it's amazing to see. Sometimes, like last year, I was working out, getting ready for a fight, and then I see you out in the world hiking and mountains and landscape everywhere, and I'm like, I'm just in a gym. Look at her, she's out there hiking. Like, so how much does that help you with mental health, and how much does being active, how important is that?
it it is super important. And I always tell the kids, sometimes when like kids are showing signs or symptoms of depression, sometimes it's hard for them to get out of bed and such. But making these small little goals to build up to eventually like working out or going for walks or hiking or something that's physical, will definitely improve like their spirituality and like raise that. And altogether it's overall overall, it's good for your whole like your overall wellness, actually.
Yeah. And where's the farthest you hiked?
Mount Ida, it was almost a 14er.
Yeah. 14
Yeah.
hours?
No, 14,000 feet.
Okay.
Elevation.
I was like,
Yeah. No.
how long is that? How long did it take to do that?
I don't remember. I think like maybe 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
6.5. But yeah, it was really pretty. That's when I went to like Rocky Mountain National Park. I'm always trying to hit up national parks.
Do you take a lunch? Do you take like food, and like how do you prepare?
Well, I eat like a bird. I take like seeds and granola bars and like healthy shit. But I'll take like small little snacks, and then I treat myself afterwards, and I'll get like a fat ass burger. I'm like, I deserve this. So that's usually how I go. I go do these like crazy hikes and then reward myself after.
How'd you get into it?
My best friend went to Yosemite. She's like, dude, you need to check out this place. And I was like, oh, I went there when I was a kid. And then I went back and I'm like, holy shit, dude, like this place is hella magical. So then,
Magical, you said that.
Dude, I am not even kidding. Like, just go there. Have you been recently?
I've never been like that kind of hiking. I went
Dog.
to
They even have just the valley floor. Just go with your family. Like, it's hella nice. Just to be out there, experience like being in nature, like that fresh air, like being away from the Wi-Fi. That's a real break.
Yeah.
And that's what people need.
And it's funny because I recently moved my social media to my laptop, and just doing that, it takes a lot off the mind. It's still a screen, right? But it's not like hands-on interactive, like have the fingers right here and just doing this all day. You're still
Dude, that's hella smart. Yeah.
And my buddy Diego, whoa, I'm gonna have to edit that out, but okay, so I want to dive into suicide and the pandemic, right?
Okay.
I've cried multiple times this year.
Yeah, me too.
Because I've gotten messages when you put out there to the universe that you're willing to help people. I didn't realize you're gonna get people that need
Yeah, dude. And like, you also need to know too, you got to protect yourself and protect your boundaries. So you need to know, do you have clear boundaries?
I think so.
What are they?
I can handle a lot. I can handle a lot, but I have my time when I have my time, and I set my boundaries. I'm only going to help people that are going to work, right?
Mhm.
If you're just looking to leech off me, then I'm not going to help you,
Yeah,
right?
those fucking emotional vampires.
Yeah,
That's what I
right.
call them. Just like fucking sucking all the like life out of me. I'm like, go away. Like,
And so with kids, I've had a few parents reach out where they have talked about suicide. They have
mhm,
talked about, I don't want to live anymore. Like,
yeah.
as a parent, even as a parent that hasn't even dealt with suicide or mental health issues, what are you supposed to tell your kid when you don't have enough funds to get clinical treatment, right?
Yeah, like support. Yeah, like yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, and that's like that is a typical, scenario for me a lot, a lot of the times because like I said, I work in East San Jose. There's a lot of families that don't have insurance. Parents have to work multiple jobs and like, the kids are at home stressed out, depressed by themselves and stuff. So when a kid comes up to you and says that, the most important thing you can do is do not be mad. Like number one tip,
Yeah.
do not be mad. If you think about it, like if somebody comes up to you, an adult, and says like, hey, I'm not feeling good, I have these feelings, like, are you gonna get mad at them? No. Same thing with kids. Like if a kid is actually like expressing that, like that's a red flag. And
Yeah.
it's a good sign if they're able to go to the parent and let them know, but also know too, like as a parent, like that is a red sign, or red flag. I would, if that's the case and, I didn't have money, we always tell the parents to reach out to the school because that's what we do. We find the resources. And, if money is an issue, we'll figure it out. Like there's so many community resources and we try really hard to like find the care for the kids. And, that's actually what I do. That's part of my job is like, I, reach out and resource and try to find these kids, therapy because it can be more, their trauma or their challenges maybe more than what I can provide. It's like out of my scope of practice. So I have to refer out for something a little bit more intense. And, just, I would just advise like those parents who are kind of struggling to find those things, like reach out to the school first, and let them know your situation. There's no judgment at all. Like we're here to help. Like at the end of the day, like, we're a community and, we really want to support everybody. And if, a child at my school was feeling this way and, they didn't have insurance and the parents were kind of stressed out, like, I would find the resource.
Yeah. And do you find it, do you find more, do you find more suicide attempts during the pandemic? Have
Um,
you had dealt with anything? I know that you do have a job you can't talk about.
I mean,
But
I could talk like about like vague situations and stuff, but yeah, throughout my whole counseling career, I guess you can say, I've seen kids, attempt suicide. I've had kids, cut themselves, bleed everywhere, kids, slamming their heads against the wall and I can't stop them. And it's to the point where they have like knots. And it's, it's a lot.
yeah, it is a lot. And I I people I don't really tell people this, but I mean one of the reasons why I quit my job was because my daughter was dealing with stuff, right? I'm not going to go into details, but she was dealing with that kind of stuff. And me and my wife were both working. We weren't at home, and I we had an incident, and I just like I can't let this move forward. I need to stop this right now.
Yeah.
It wasn't like okay, give me a week to think about it. Give me 2 weeks. Is like, this is my daughter. I need to stop this right now. And it was like one of us needs to quit. One of us needs to be home. And
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, we had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Some families are not they're not
Mhm.
able to do that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think those moments mean a lot, because there's a few moments in my life where someone could have stepped in and just said, I'm going to be there for you. But a lot of it, like my mom died when I was 15, and my dad got remarried right away. And it just, there was no sense of like, I'm going to be there for you, support.
Yeah. It's like abandonment.
So all kids need is just support, man.
Yeah.
It really, and it frustrates me when I do see these parents that just, they're too into themselves. Like they're so worried about themselves. Like, so.
Yeah. But I will say though, like that, I try my best not to judge parents, because, at the end of the day, I'm talking to these parents to help their kid. And I find, once I talk to these parents, I find out their story, and I'm like, that's why this is going on. And it's like, understanding like what the parents are doing. And, some parents may show, be all about their looks and put themselves first and stuff, but there could be underlying issues, and that's what you kind of want to investigate, so what that might be why this kid is acting this certain way. So,
and that brings me to you saying that the parents do have issues or what they dealt with as kids. What's something that needs to be brought to light with mental health that people don't know? Regular, like normal people that haven't, I don't want to say normal, people that don't deal with a lot of mental health issues, haven't seen it. What is something that needs to be brought to light that isn't?
That's a good question. I mean, one thing that like just popped into my mind right away is like understand like this word. It's like a whatever. It's called generational trauma. So once you recognize patterns within your family, that's when you can start healing, because there's certain unhealthy patterns that get transferred down. So, and as kids, you don't know if that's healthy or unhealthy. So like, for example, a family who, the mom and dad have domestic violence. The kid's going to see that thinking like, oh, that's how the parents fight, domestic violence, they break up, get back together. So the kid sees that as a pattern. That can translate or transfer into, their future relationships. They get into the same relationship just like that. And, it's just a cycle of domestic violence. But once people kind of notice like, oh, I'm kind of like this with, my parenting style, my parents were the same way, you can kind of, pick and choose how you want to parent.
Yeah.
Per se.
And what are ways for kids to say they don't have that parent, parent to go to, say they don't have really, as a kid, if you don't have that parent that's stable, what do you tell, like, how do they get that stability? Like where can they reach out to other than school, right? Because sometimes kids don't reach out at school.
Yeah, exactly. And it sucks. And, sometimes kids don't have the words, or they don't know how to reach out for help. And, those kids end up being silent. And, sometimes, the parents that aren't supportive and, the parents that aren't there, it just sucks. It's just a shitty situation for the kid to be in.
Yeah. And growing up in the East, you're from the East Side San Jose, and now working in East Side San Jose, I think it needs to be brought to light that geography matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm realizing that as I moved from San Jose. I told my wife, I go, you don't know that you live in the ghetto till you're out of the ghetto. And
dude, for real. I lived in fucking Dublin, and I left my garage door open. Nobody fucking went in that shit. Twice. I did that shit twice. It was so safe. Or like me and Nikki are walking. She's like, what did she tell me the other day? Or when we were living in Dublin, and she said something like, Mom, don't forget to lock the doors. And I was like, girl, like, we're fine. I was like, we don't. Yeah.
And do you feel like it's hidden? Do you feel like no one really talks about it? About how the youth from, because I remember growing up that youth sports, like you used to cheerlead for UIC. I used to play.
Oh my God.
But do you remember the kids around us? Some of the kids you think about, like parents in prison, they were gangbangers. Like I know from my baseball team, a few people died, a few people went to prison. Like, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just,
yeah. And what sucks is like, that's life.
yeah.
That's fucking life. And it's like, it's normal. It's normalized when it's really not normal. But it's,
Go ahead. Sorry.
oh no, I was going to say, like, you know, did you ever take that test that I sent you, the ACEs? The
No,
adverse child? Yeah.
I need to do that. I read the statement, but I didn't do the test. Sorry.
Yeah, no, don't trip off of that. But when you get a chance to try it, it's some interesting shit. But I was telling you, like, it's the adverse childhood experiences, or early childhood adverse experiences. But basically, it's like a rating scale, or it's like a test, 1 to 10 questions, and the higher you get on this test, it correlates with negative health outcomes as an adult. So like if you're under the age of 18, if you experience, like, some of them is homelessness, you get a 1. If you answer yes, you get a point. If you had a parent who was incarcerated, you get another point. If you had a parent who was absent, died, you know, whatever, that's another point. And then you kind of start seeing like, oh shit, a lot of this like happened to me. And then you kind of realize like, that's probably why I have anxiety, or that's probably why I have like high blood pressure and stuff. But yeah.
I seen somebody when I was like 6, 7 years old. We were playing basketball in my front yard. Some gangster walks up, bloody as hell, and like just in our front yard. Like, can I use it? He goes, "Can I use your phone? I just got jumped. Someone cracked me over the head with a bottle." Like, I remember seeing, because I lived right by the bus 70 stop. And I remember seeing hookers going downtown. Like, the stuff that I would see was just like, you don't realize how it affects you till later. Like,
yeah, exactly. And like that's the thing. And there's like I worked off at Alma. I worked at a rocket ship, like a charter school, and it was right off of Monterey Road. And you know that in San Jose is known for like prostitution.
yeah.
And you know, I'd be walking, going get a hamburger at like Wendy's at like 10 a.m. and these girls are getting off their shifts, and I'm just like, damn, this is like in our neighborhood. But you know, for kids, like it's like an everyday thing, and they see it and it becomes normal for them. And that's the thing. Like, you know, when you're a kid, when you're born, your memory is a little bit different, the way you form memories. And then as you get older, your brain gets more sophisticated. So when you're younger and you see these things, they become normalized and they become healthy for you. So it's like super important. Like anything as a kid, like can really affect you as an adult.
Yeah. And I love that you're trying to give back to the community, because one of your main goals is to try to bring that to light, what's happening in Eastside San Jose and helping the youth out there. And it's amazing, Lindsey. And you truly are an amazing person that I think is a personality that is going, like, you have the personality to be that voice, right? It takes a specific person to be a voice of something, and you have that personality. You do this crazy stuff of hiking, and you're outgoing, and it's just, I think are you gonna write books?
I wanted to write a children's book.
Yeah.
About something funny though. Like, I don't know. I was thinking, I have some ideas, but like children's books for fun.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Why?
No, I'm just saying, because I just talked I just interviewed the I can't even say it. Orthopedic surgeon. And then I talked to Daniel Barbarisi. He's a journalist. And most of the time after you go through your career, they both of them went through their career and said, you know what, I want to write a book. And I could see you writing the book when you start going through your career.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty interesting. Like, I've seen some shit, man. I have video. I'll send you the video of me like stopping fights, dude. Like, there's some crazy ass shit that I see, but it's like sometimes it's funny, and then sometimes it's kind of just like, well, that kid was running his mouth. That's a consequence.
Yeah. Was there something that, because you are from the East Side, was there someone was there someone that helped you, or some moment that changed your path? What was
Mm,
the number one thing that didn't get you into gangs or drugs or all the bad stuff? Why did you end up getting your master's? Why do you see yourself different? What happened?
damn. Okay.
Sorry.
That is a deep ass question that I never really thought about. I don't know. I just, you kind of just grow up and you just think like you have to keep going. Like that's the mentality. Like you work hard and you always keep working hard. Like that was just the mentality that my dad raised me as. So it's like, my mom told me, you're going to go to college. Like no other plan after that. Like she didn't know what that meant. She just said like, you're going to go to college. And I was like, okay. So I got to college, got pregnant. I was like, fuck, if I don't have an education, like I don't know what I'm going to do. And at the time I was in a really toxic relationship, so it was just really difficult just thinking, I'm going to be like, I even knew I was going to be a single mom after like all that shit went down. And it's like, I need to make money. How am I going to make money? And for me, like I always saw education as making money. So I went that route.
Yeah, that's awesome. And do you have any last words for anybody inspiring to even single moms? Like I think you're a good advocate for single moms too. Like and young single moms. And do you have any last words for people trying to get their education, trying to get their masters or get into counseling? Like
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, go no. For single moms, that was like a really big topic and like something that I really explored in undergrad. So, there's a lot of resources out there to help single moms. And I would say like take advantage of it. Like there's scholarships, there's, government assistance, like check in the schools, just I always say this too, go to your school counselor, like always go to them first because they're the person that's going to direct you into the right resource per
Yeah.
se. But, if you really want to do it, you'll find a way to do it. And, if for me, I mean, I guess it was a little bit different. I gave up a lot. I didn't really like party in undergrad, never really got that experience. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that I didn't go that path because now I'm kind of like setting myself up for Nikki. And that way she can, continue on this like higher education and like, keep doing better. Cause, at the end of the day, that's what we want. We always want to do better for our kids. And we want
Exactly,
better for them.
because no one in my family, like my immediate family on my dad's side, no one, my sister was the first person to graduate college. Like
Yeah.
I know no one ever told me, Jesse, go to college other than my mom. And then she was out of my life,
Yeah.
And
Yeah, dude, but like that's a big thing too. Like if you think about it, like that was from your mom, your what happened with your mom and like, and if she was the person that like constantly was like pushing you for education and that just kind of that just disappeared out of nowhere and
Yeah.
nobody else was like pushing you, you it's hard to follow through with that.
Yeah. And it's just, this is such a crazy world. And I hope that you keep on doing what you're doing. And thanks for coming on. And I know you have a few projects. Do you want to say them?
Oh well, I mean, I have my like counseling Instagram, but
Yeah.
that's more geared to I mean, if you're in East San Jose, I post like resources on there, like free COVID tests, like where to get food, where to get like feminine products.
Yeah.
I always post those things for the community.
And what's
And then
that
I'm doing
Instagram? What's that? What's that?
the quarantined counselor.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, so that's kind of like my elementary parenting tip kind of Instagram handle. And then I just made that new one just to fuck around. And I don't know, I just like making reels now because they're hella funny.
I like that one too.
Yeah, it's what is it? Hood rat healing.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it's just like for adults, like, shit you need to do, shit you don't need to do, and having like rap music in the background, like why not?
It's hard putting yourself on camera, huh?
Dude, it really is. But like, I'm really doing this because I have to do this for the kids. And like, I don't like doing this. I don't like, hey guys, this is Miss Lindsay. What's up? Because I don't know, it just feels kind of fake for me. But I'm trying to get out of my shell because once I'm able to do this for like, I guess to people like my peers and people my age, because that's kind of like something I'm nervous or I get scared about. But, once I kind of get past that fear, I'll be able to be a better counselor for the kids during the pandemic. And that's why I'm doing it.
I didn't even realize that that's the fear with social media and posting yourself is the people your age, like my
Yeah.
age, and
Dude.
I don't like when I first started doing this podcast, like we were doing the audio only, and
Yeah.
and then we started doing the video, and I would have trouble with it because I cared too much. Now I don't give a fuck.
Good.
I don't care.
Dude,
It's
I'm
just
getting there slowly.
yeah, and you'll find it. And I keep on saying, I feel like you're a personality that mental health needs, right? That I don't know. Kids need a lot. I could have went on a bad path if it wasn't for people like you. Like it just,
Aw.
it's so important.
Did you see a counselor when all that stuff happened? Like, did the school reach out to you? Like, I'm curious.
So I don't know if I think I was messaging you that everybody thought I needed help with mourning over my mom.
Mhm.
It wasn't that. It was the fact that I seen someone dead. You know what I
There
mean?
you go. Yeah.
That's what people take away. Like everybody was trying to say, like, oh, you're gonna get through it. You're mourning over your mom. No, motherfuckers. I was dealing with PTS.
There you go. Yep.
I couldn't sleep. I hated life. Like it just, and then I didn't find out later. Like everything didn't start triggering until I got married, because when you get married, you're literally with this other person that barely knows you. I mean, you think you know each other because you're in lust with each other, right? But then you start diving into each other into each other's psyche.
Mhm. Sorry, I related too much to that right now. I'm like,
and then
yeah.
you demons start coming up, and holy shit, Lindsay, like I was a very bad person for about 2 years to my wife, and and luckily she stayed. I even went to go get psychiatric help, but I just didn't like it. They wanted to put me on meds, and the one thing that saved me, and I'll always say this, is martial arts. That shit, like exercising and martial arts, saved me 100%. And if I could give advice, since we're on mental health and most parents, hopefully a lot of parents are listening to this, if I could give advice for parents dealing with like a kid that's suffering from mental health, it's to keep them active, and to listen. And it just, keeping them active really helps a lot. I'm not saying it's the perfect thing, but it's, if your kid's at home playing video games all day, of course their mental health is going to be bad. Of course. And it's just people like you. We need more people like you. It's crazy. And I actually went to that. Okay, one more question. Sorry, I know you're busy.
I know you good.
But one more question. When it comes to, there's so much money. Like when my mom first passed away, my dad sent me to counseling for kids that lost their parents.
Okay, so grief counseling.
Yeah, grief counseling. And holy crap, I think I came across a bill. It was like a lot of money.
It can be, yeah.
And it's like how why is it so much money? Why is it so much money to help people? Like, you know, like
right? It's so much money to help people, and then you work in the school districts and you get paid peanuts, and I'm just like,
I didn't even realize that.
No, I'm on I'm balling on a teacher's salary, so yeah.
It's so crazy.
It really is, but no, it's. I would definitely piggyback off of that advice and say, yeah, I would totally agree. It's a very positive cycle. You work out, you build energy, but you're also looking good. And then you start feeling good, and then you still have your energy. And then it's a really positive cycle. So like when they say like, get out and be active, it is good for your health. Like it is good for all around health, like wellness, all around wellness.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like anything crazy. Like some people are like, oh, I'm going to go do judo. And I'm like, I'm not a judo person. I'm going to go walk. Like, even walking's good, just being out in nature.
It's totally important. And I always push that. But thank you for coming on, Lindsay. Thank you do you have any last words for anybody? Or anyone?
Yeah, I would like to say like and subscribe. I'm just kidding. But yeah, okay, parting words though, I would just say like, as a parent, the number one thing that you can take away is always validate your child and their feelings, because when you don't validate your child's feelings and they grow up, they're going to have some insecurities about themselves and question a lot. So, you know, if they do something that, you know, is going to piss you off, but they still come to you, like always say, come to me first, you know, come to me first, and then we'll be mad after. But I always want my first job is to always protect you, and you need to feel safe with me to come. So, you know, I always validate Nikki and her feelings, and, you know, she always comes to me with everything. And if I piss her off, you know, she'll tell me, and, you know, sometimes I'm a dick. So I'll just be like, I'm sorry, girl. And that's another thing. Normalize saying sorry to your kids. It is okay. And that's it. That's all my advice.
Awesome. Thank you, Lindsey. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for listening, guys. I will be posting this. I will be posting all Lindsey's links below or in the description of the audio. And this is the hard part because I always forget this. But yeah, guys, thank you guys. I love you, and goodbye.